everyone, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Ajua. Let's do some maceration videos. It's been a while since I did this, but I've gathered tons of fragrances in the last couple of months, and I think I need to bring you some updates. So I'm going to start off with one that I had a decant of Empire Victor, the new formulation. I have a bottle of the old formulation, the full bottle of the old formulation, but I got a decant of the newer formulation just to be able to compare and see whether I wanted to pick a full bottle of the newer formulation or not, and I've done the comparison like a couple of months ago. So yeah, the new formulation here. And I recently was like, I need to get a full bottle of the new formulation and had to go, yeah, full bottle Empire Victor. And this, the hype and everything is real, but we're not here to discuss the fragrance by itself. Has it macerated and changed in any way? So I was able to compare the decant of the macerated one. Like this I've had for like at least 7 months or like 10 months, and this is like fairly new. But when I smelled the new bottle, when I got this one, I think it had already gone through a bit of aging, so I was like getting the real deal. When I got this and I smelled it immediately, I was like, I don't really see a lot of differences between this, which has aged for about 10 months, and the new bottle. I barely detect any difference between these two scents. I cannot say it was lighter and that and it changed something amazing. It's been amazing from day one. When I spray this and I spray the new bottle, it has not really changed. I'll be looking for things that are not there if I want to do any comparison between the new bottle and then the macerated one. I'll just be looking for something which is really not there. Longevity is something that has a lot of people have said they've had issues with the longevity of the new formulation. As a matter of fact, I really don't have longevity issues with this. To me, I think it is good, It's not giving me it's giving me at least 10-12 hours. Even when I put my clothes away, I can still smell it. So guess that it is like on the milder, more quiet, more gentle, tone. Is not as loud and beastly as, let's say, the older formulation, which to me I think it is quite loud, and a bit polarizing. This one is very mild but also very present, and I don't think a lot has changed with the old bottle and the new bottle. So maceration really was not like a must when it came to Empire Victor, the new formulation, in my opinion. I think it is absolutely fabulous from the get-go. So that is going to be the first one here. Before I continue, Irresistible Me, I'm collaborating with them for like the third time, I believe, and they sent me this wig. I chose this wig, from the selection that they gave me, and this is super amazing. It's a very beautiful, lightweight. You don't need to do anything about it. I think I mentioned in one of my other videos that I left the US. It was sent to my US address, and then I came to Ghana and I asked my sister to bring it along. So she brought it along without the box. It comes in a very beautiful box with the pink fan girly satin, just to keep the wigs, and because she was traveling, and she wanted space, she couldn't bring the box to me. But I think I would do a video and set the box with the previous one that they sent to me, and then you can know how elegant and beautiful, and expensive looking, the box and the packaging is. So I'll just do that. But this wig is amazing. I love the color. I chose to go with this silver grayish. It's different from any other wig I have wore in a very long time. I don't see myself. I feel like it doesn't come across as costumey, Sometimes some of these wigs can come across as costumey, but this one is like, no, it's like well dressed. It doesn't come across as clownish. Some grayish wigs, depending on how it is worn, can come across as clownish and costumey, but this one feels like flowy, and I just love it. I just love it, and it's human hair too. So I will link my description there, my discount code. I will link everything. My discount code with them is IM-Ajua. The old one is still the same one that you can still use to purchase any other from the brand Irresistible Me. I love this. I really do absolutely love this. So I'll link all the details in the description for you to know, to get the details, and then grab one if you really want to get a very similar look. I love it. It's playful, and sexy diva. Okay, so let's get to another fragrance here from Paris Corner. I think I had no mercy on this fragrance at the time I did the review. I gave you my absolutely honest opinion. I didn't sugarcoat anything, and that is the case of Cake Temptation. I don't think it has fully macerated, but I guess I want to give like an update, like an update. It's been like a month and a week, like 5, almost 6 weeks since I think I bought this fragrance. So it's gone through a bit of, changes, but it is not a significant change. The change has not been that significant. It's still very similar to the description I gave it a month and a half ago. It still gives me a very synthetic vibe. I sprayed this fragrance and I just wanted my daughter to try this one because I know, it's like this super sort of, it's supposed to be this super gourmand thing. So I thought maybe the kids, would like it. When I sprayed it, she was like, it's nice, but it feels like rubber. She just it feels like rubber, in a way, thinking it's like on the synthetic, that is what I got from how she described it. It still gives me that synthetic vibe, it gives me that synthetic vibe. It feels like it's mellowed a bit, that syntheticness has mellowed a bit, but it's still there. It's still there. Like, it's still there, very noticeably, there. It is noticeably there. It is still synthetic, chemically. Every single description I gave it like a month and a half ago is still there. It hasn't really changed that much. I can tolerate it, but I don't think I'm ever going to wear this fragrance out. I'll be lying to myself if I said I was going to wear this out. I don't think I can. I'm committed to giving this one whole year. One whole year. I think I'm going to commit to it and give it one whole year to see how. But I'll be giving you periodic, updates as to how it has developed or changed, if anything, has changed at all. So that's going to be Cake Temptation. Nothing really has changed much. It's still that synthetic, screeching, vanilla, strawberry, rubber, everything that I do not like in a fragrance is still there. And I'm going to go with the other counterparts, which in the earlier video I said I prefer this a lot over the Cake Temptation, and this is Creamy Biscuit. This is actually not bad at all. It is good. I remember mentioning that it gives me tiramisu speculoos vibe and someone in one of the videos said it gives them banana bliss. I think it is banana bliss, the dry down banana bliss. That is one sort of gives me, but it also reminds me of Charosa 71. This one is like Charosa 71 with that creamy butter, nuttiness, vanilla. And just imagine Charosa 71 with a biscuity accord. My daughter smelled this one, and as soon as she was like, oh, it smells like biscuits. So I get it. It really gives you that biscuity sort of, accord. But think about Charosa 71 with a biscuit accord. This one was not, I mentioned in the video that it was not as bad as the, the other one. And for me, it felt like the scent is already available in one of those tiramisu, banana bliss. So I was like, okay, give us something quite similar in them with the same Ministry of Gourmand line. And they're giving us this, which is not super different from that, So it's good, but I really don't see myself wearing this one as a straight up fragrance. I think it is better layering. I feel I'm going to enjoy this if I layer it, because even with my banana blaze, I'm not reaching for it as much, although I love that. When it comes to Charosa 71, I'm also not reaching for that as much, although I also love it. I would pull for those two before I go for this. So I would, it's good for layering, in my opinion, than having the actual bottle, or I don't know, but that's how I feel about it. Okay, so let me go with another Paris Corner, and this is going to be Mango Huguso, and everybody knows it's one of my favorite fragrances ever, not just from Paris Corner or Middle Eastern, like ever. And this to me was a very pleasant surprise when I initially got the fragrance. First spray, I was in love. Like, it's like love at first sniff, all the good things about it. Pineapple, black currant, mango, juicy, mouth-watering, beautiful. It is very beautiful and tropical, but it also dressed up. It feels like you can dress it up, dress it down. This is very beautiful. What I have realized, or if I should give it like any negative attribute is the fact that it's not super long lasting. I'll tell you the truth. It's not super long lasting. I was hoping aging was going to get this quite stronger and give it more wear hours, but it has really not given me that. I think 2 to 3 hours on skin and around 5 to 6 on clothes. It's not bad, but I thought it was going to thicken up, but I think it's just like a fun tropical, heat, like high heat sort of, fragrance. And they don't typically do a lot of hours, and that is going to be the case. It's been over a month and yeah, barely 2 months. I don't think it's up to 2 months, but it's beautiful. I don't think it is different from when I initially got it. I still get that very delightful bursts of sugariness and mango and juicy pineapple and the black currants. I still get that. It has not really changed, but I think I was hoping that the longevity was going to improve, but it did not, and yeah, it did not. However, I still absolutely love this. I have a backup bottle of this, so I spray liberally without thinking twice about it, So yeah, that is going to be Mango Hugu. So I'm going to go with a fragrance that a lot of people have like I think it is divided, because I know segments of Fracom who love this straight away, and some who are also struggling with vanilla toffee. I'm the a part of the group who believes this is a very unique butterscotch, vanilla cow feel or coffee scent. And to me, it is that uniqueness about it that makes it different and appealing to me. It could have been any other thing, but I think that uniqueness, which I got from the very beginning, it was not off-putting to me. I didn't see it as anything I couldn't deal with. I didn't have to go through a phase of trying to deal with this. To me, it was beautiful from day one, and I think that has been the case of vanilla toffee. I can see why people are frustrated about that burnt sugar or burnt rubber thing or incensey. I can get it, but I think that is what makes this super unique to me. It has not really changed. It's been over 4 or so months since I got this one. It's not really changed. I wouldn't say it has changed. So if you are looking forward to a fragrance that you would use straight up without going through any form of maceration, I don't think vanilla toffee is going to be, especially if you have not acquired that sort of taste or a different take on gourmands. It's a true relative gourmand, but it remains very linear and very the same, very much the same as I initially got it. So I wouldn't say it has not. It has really not changed. Nothing about it. The scent, performance, I don't see much difference, because it was good. It was giving me about 8 hours, 8 to 10, 12 hours, which to me is good, for any fragrance, not just Middle Eastern fragrance. I think performance-wise, it is good. Sillage is like, leaves a very beautiful scent trail, but the scent with whatever thing, negative connotation that people associate with this is still there. It's still going to be there. But for me, it is those things that make these fragrances super unique. So I think if you're looking for, I want it now, I want to use it right now type of fragrance, in that scent profile, vanilla toffee is not going to be it. It's still, it might never change. It might never change. From how I'm seeing it, I don't think it is really going to change. I think that is the scent, that is the nature of the fragrance by itself. So I don't think this is going to change, but I might be surprised. It might change, but for now, it's been like 4 or so months and it has not. If you really want to go with an alternative, which is not going to give you that uniqueness of vanilla toffee, I would say go for cafe latte. This I've had for about a month and a half, and it has also developed to a certain extent, and I feel it's like the more subtle version of vanilla toffee. They smell quite identical with a very similar feel. However, this even from the beginning did not have that association of that overly unique incensey, burnt rubber, sugary accord. You can get it, but it's like more tamed. It's like on the tame, more wearable side than vanilla toffee. So this to me is a very beautiful one-to-one Amor Cafe. I think I've done the comparison in other previous videos. It's a very beautiful, realistic coffee, ice cream, vanilla feel. It is beautiful. It gives me a grown up, gourmand. It's not like the sickly sweet gourmand. It's like grown up, matured gourmand without. It's foody. It is edible, milky ice cream, but it's not as much as vanilla toffee, for example. So this one has been about a month and a half. It really has not really changed that much. The scent is like very linear. It stays like true to whatever it came initially, as, and it stayed the same for that 1.5 months. It's good from the get-go. It doesn't really have to go through any process of maceration. It's one of those things that you just grab, and you are good to go. So that is going to be the case of cafe latte. If you think the vanilla toffee was a bit too much and you want something to not go through any form of maceration or aging, this is the way to go. Cafe latte from Cadlage. I'm going to go with one of my most beautiful fragrances I would recommend for men. That is going to be Emir. Emir is apparently inspired by Clive and Christian, something. I'll just try and put it on the screen. And the bottle is even very elegant to me. It's like an abstracty sort of, thing, and it's very beautiful. Whoever came up with this design, I think the person did an amazing job. So this at the beginning gave me a very masculine but powdery and musky and woody. It gave me more of a woody, masculine, powdery, bergamonty, feel. That is what I could smell for a very long time. For about 3-4 months, it was like a very powdery, but masculine, musky, woody, fragrance. Nowadays, when I smell this, I smell more of a spice. There's a spice to this, I'm not sure, it's not, I don't think it's cardamom, but there's a spice to this, and that spice has really developed. I get more spice in this than I initially got it. Like 3, 4, 5, 6 months ago, it wasn't as this spicy. It was more of the musk, the powdery, the woods. I always said it was like the powdery, musky, woody fragrance for men. But now I get more of a masculine vibe. It feels a lot more masculine to me now. It feels a lot more spice, like an ultra masculine male spicy, fragrance, coupled with the bergamot that it has, the lime, lemony, the rind of a lemon feel. It has that, but there's something which has developed, which is like very spicy to me, which I didn't get at the beginning. It was there, but probably very faint and needed to, cook before it got to that stage. And I think it's almost fully macerated. All the maceration never ends till you finish a bottle, because it will change for as long as you have bottles of fragrances. So this to me has become a lot more spicy, like a lot more spicy, and that's going to be the case of Emir. So yeah, I think if you're a man and you want something for a daily use, which can translate into evening, because now the spices you can get it more, is going to be a very versatile, alternative or choice for something that can transition from morning to evening. That is going to be a similar case when it comes to Latafa Teriyaki Intense. Teriyaki Intense to me was not as spicy. I didn't get a lot more spicy, To me, I remember mentioning this for the first time, and I mentioned the fact that it smells like applittini, Mount Applittini. To me, that's soapy, boozy, fresh feel. There was a freshness about this fragrance that I was able to compare to Mount Applittini. I still get that. I think I'm the only person who has done that type of comparison. I still get that. However, I'm not getting that intense plum. I know when this one was launched, a lot of people were like, oh, plum liqueur, whatever. I got it, but I think a lot of people who spoke about the initial release and things were people who had bottles like for weeks or months and had tested it. So they had reached the stage where the plum was very pronounced. That is what I think, because when I got this bottle, it was not as plum intense as it is now. It was not. The plum in this one has changed. That plum liqueur has really intensified. It was more of a fresh, soapy, spicy, fragrance to me, which I still get. I still get that slight, spicy, soapy, fresh. There's a freshness about it, which gives it a masculine vibe. It's more of a masculine vibe although like unisex, has a very unisex appeal, but it has it's more to the masculine. If I'm supposed to choose, I'll say it is for men as opposed to being for women. It is unisex leaning masculine, but I now get that intense plum liqueur accord or notes than initially. So that's what I would like to believe, that people who got the bottle earlier, and had let it sit for a while before they could speak to it, were like, oh, it is a heavy plum liqueur scent. But I think for me, that I got a fresh bottle, and had to let it sit, I got plum liqueur, but not as intense as I now get it. So I think and the sweetness is like the sweetness has also gotten a lot more intense. It's more sweet, more spicy, more plummy, more boozy, than initially when it was like fresh and clean and light. It was not light, but it was like more fresh and a little soapy and a little green. But now I think it is like Maceration has really brought that plum liqueur notes out. I'm going to go with a fragrance here, Lavender Femme. This is a very beautiful interpretation of Creed Aventus for hair that I have here. Very identical. I mean, there's almost like the same thing. The same thing. If you compare these two, you will realize Lavender Femme was a little to the masculine side, with the woods being a lot more intense. However, it's been about a month and a half, and I think it needs a bit of aging, but not as much, because after a month and a half, I get the same Creed Aventus for hair. It is woody, fresh pineapple, bergamot, citrusy. It is beautiful, it is very beautiful. So I think maybe the first few days will be a lot intense, and it felt like a lot musky with a little screechiness. There was a little screechiness about this, but it fizzled out in about a week or 3 to 5, 7 days, it fizzles out. And I think Lavender Femme is one of those beautiful, everyday, year round, but high heat sort of, fragrance that it's like elegant and like iconic, it's like an iconic smell that a lot of people are used to, and that is going to be it, so it's macerated beautifully. It feels a lot more toned down, settled down. It feels like a lot more settled down. It doesn't come across as that slight screechiness that I found from the beginning. It's very beautiful. And now that it has, sort of fully macerated, which it didn't have to go through a lot, of stages, it's really very smells identical to the OG Creed Aventus. And I think everybody needs to have at least a bottle of this in their collection, and that is going to be Lavender Femme. And the last bottle I would like to speak about in this video is going to be Cotton Abiyat from Mamlakat Al Oud. And this is was purported to be inspired by the Wedding Silks and Towel, which to me it really does. It gives off a similar vibe, but it's different. When I got this fragrance, it felt very light and creamy and airy. It still has that sort of characteristics, but what I have realized is that the coconuts in this one has become a lot more intensified. I got the coconuts from the beginning, but it was not as much. Now that it's been with me for about 2.5 like 3 months, it's intensified. I get a very noticeable coconut feel in this. And that is what makes it totally different from the Wedding Silks and Towel. It's like coconut forward, coconut vanilla, like coconut cream, coconut milk with the coconut cream, and then that plum and vanilla. That is what basically you are getting from this, as to where Silks and Towel is like totally different. It was just quiet, gentle, and it's still very quiet and gentle. It's not going to project be beast mode. It still gives me a very similar feel, but I think it has thickened up, especially the coconut. The coconut feels like more creamy, more pronounced. It feels like coconut, the meat part of coconut coupled with coconut, milk. It's like coconut upon coconut. I feel like you could have like layers of coconut, the coconut by the meaty coconut, and then coconut cream. That's how it feels to me, with that heavy presence of vanilla. I think it is a vanilla feel that makes people think this is close to the Wedding Silks and Towel. It's vibes similarly, but not the same. It just not as transformed scent wise, except for that creamy coconut I perceive in this a lot more. Yeah. So yeah, It's one of those fragrances too that is like you can get it from the get-go and use it. You don't need to go through a lot of stages of maceration. Just get it, grab it, and you're good to go. Yeah. So that's going to be 10 fragrances that I wanted to update. I have several other fragrances I need to update, and I think I'll be doing those videos quite soon. So that is going to be it for today, and I hope this video found you well. So please do not forget to give this video a thumbs up, and please do not forget to check out Irresistible Me with my discount code IM-Ajua for your amazing discounts and have this amazing look. I love it. So thank you so much, and I hope to see you in my next one. Take care. Bye bye.